In this lesson, we're going to discuss the multiple ways that we can add classes into our project. With that, in order to complete the code for this project, we are going to have two files that we need to have handy. Those should be included in the resources for our course. The first one's going to be programcode.txt, and the next one's going to be passwordmanagercode.txt. Now those are code stubs that we're just going to put right into our class in order to make our code run at the end of this video. First, before we get started, I do want to create a new package. So I'm going to select the source there by clicking on it, and I'm going to select Alt-Shift-N and a new package, and we're going to name this com.infiniteskills.gui. We'll go ahead and finish that. And now we should note, now there are multiple ways to add classes. Of course, the easiest way would be to click the package we're looking for, hit Alt-Shift-N, and then select class. Now this will bring up the dialog to add a new class. You can see the package is already pre-selected because I had clicked it beforehand. If you're not looking to place it in a specific package, you could select source. And again, another way to add a class is to say File, New, Class. And here you can see it brings up the class creation dialog again. And note that it's in the default package if we don't name anything. So we definitely want our class inside of our packages for the purposes of our code. So once again, I'll right-click here, right on that package, and select New Class. So that's the three different ways you can see to bring up the New Class dialog. Alt-Shift-N, right-click on the selected package, or select File, New Class from the menu. And of course it matters where you have selected previous to that File, New Class as well. Now the name of our class is going to be Password Manager. And that class is going to be public. It's not a package. It won't be abstract or final. It will inherit from the superclass object. No interfaces implemented. We're not going to stub in any code. And we can generate our java.comments should we so desire. So let's go ahead and do that and select Finish. And what we'll see here is that as this creation dialog completes, we get a Java class, and that code will be stubbed in for Password Manager. And you can see it's already in the correct package, and the author and information is filled in from the java.comments. Let's go ahead and go with our Password Manager code text and just select all of that and paste it in. Now that gives us the information that we're looking for in order to create our GUI for our Password Manager. Now of course we don't have that code in place, so we need a program. So again, I'll select the package I'm looking for, or I could start at the source and manually browse to that. Let's do that. So let's say I was on source here, and I will hit Alt-Shift-N, and I will say I want a new class, and then it'll say it's in the default, but I don't want it in the default. I actually want this to be in program. So I'm going to select it here. Again, we could add enclosing types if we wanted. We can make it a package, abstract, or final, add any interfaces, stub in a void main, so we can do that. Since this is going to be our program file itself, and the name of this one is just going to be program. And so you can see that that does stub in the void main method for us without us having to type anything at all. And we have our class program created. So everything is good to go there. And we have one more class that we're going to create throughout, which is going to be an encryptor. So let's just call this encryptor. And we'll go ahead and leave that alone. Everything else is going to be default there. And that gives us encryptor. Now encryptor is not going to have anything in it at this point. Our program code needs to be fixed in order to have the actual program code. And you can note that I named this with a small p, so I need to fix that in my naming, which will give us a chance to see that. And so you can see here my code is already barking at me, telling me that the program is not named correctly. So here I can right-click and select Refactor Rename, but you'll note that there are some shift keys that we can see that. And we'll go ahead and update any references to it, which there shouldn't be at this point. But now we should see that Password Manager now has completely compiled as required. The error has gone away from the references to the program file. So that completes our look at creating classes and adding the classes into our projects in the Java Eclipse IDE.